Okay, we have a wonderful group of people here. Thank you so much, everyone. We're thrilled to be hosting this special program during these last couple of days of JDAIM, Jewish Disability Awareness and Acceptance and Inclusion Month in April. And together with our keynote speaker, Captain Udi Heller, who is with us now. And we are recording this program for those who are not able to watch it live. And so I am Tamar Davis, CEO of Gateways Access to Jewish Education. I'm here together with two of my partners in the disability inclusion field, Liz Offen of Yachad, New England, and Donna Bar-Or of the Ruderman Synagogue Inclusion Project. I'm going to ask if everyone will mute themselves while we get the program started. We have a wonderful program planned for this hour. I'll share a little bit about each of our three organizations, then I'll introduce Udi for his presentation and story. We will have time for a Q&A after Udi presents, and Donna will moderate this. Please feel free to put any questions in the chat while the program is going on. We will make sure that they get answered during the Q&A session. Liz will conclude the program with upcoming events and materials for Purim and other important dates that you will not want to miss. So I've been with Gateways for just over 2 years, and I'm incredibly passionate about our mission to enable children and teens with disabilities, diverse learning needs, and mental health challenges to participate meaningfully in Jewish life and learning through special education services and support, which we do both locally and nationally. We have a highly customized Hebrew school style program for ages 5 to 18 with a teen volunteer cohort as part of this. We provide direct service and mental health support to Boston area Jewish day school students and professional development and consultation to educators across all informal and formal Jewish educational settings, locally and nationally. Yachad, one of our partners for this program, is a national program through the Orthodox Union, and Yachad is dedicated to enriching the lives of Jewish individuals with disabilities and their families by enhancing their communal participation and their connection to Judaism through social and educational programs and support services. Personally, I have very fond memories of Yachad Shabbatons, where I grew up in Florida, with Yachad members staying in our home and joining in our community's Shabbat tradition. The Ruderman Synagogue Inclusion Project, we call it RSIP for short, I don't know if that's okay to say, Donna, is a partnership between CJP and the Ruderman Family Foundation that supports synagogues in creating communities where people of all abilities are valued equally and participate fully. There are now, Donna just shared with me, 70 synagogues who have now been a part of this vital project, which offers access to local and national inclusion experts, consultation to develop innovative synagogue inclusion strategies and opportunities for congregational communities to teach, network, and share best practices. My own synagogue locally has been a beneficiary of this project, so I've seen successful results on the ground in our collective efforts to create a more inclusive community. And now it is my pleasure to formally introduce our keynote speaker, Udi Heller, the highest ranking autistic soldier in the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, and recipient of the Chief of Staff Award. Udi, we're excited for you to tell us your story of growing up autistic in Israel and establishing the IDF Titkadmu, which translates to move forward, a one-of-a-kind program for autistic soldiers. In the presentation, you'll hear how Udi has created systemic change in the IDF, where Israel is a society that really values service in the army. And so you have worked on revolutionizing the draft system and shifting mindsets around inclusion. So without further ado, Udi, the Zoom floor is now yours. I turn it over to you.
And Tamar, okay. If you'll spotlight, Udi.
Tamar, thank you very much for the kind introduction. So I'm really excited, and I'm sure one of my officers, Brigadier General Dan Goldfuss, who thanks to him, this connection is available. Wow, all kinds of noises. If people can mute, put on mute, it will be great. Again, I'm autistic and I'm very sensitive to all kind of hearing issues. Even some of them that others can't hear. So, I'm not only in uniforms, sometimes I'm with. It's a wonderful opportunity. Just a week ago, I had a meeting at an hotel in Jerusalem, the Inbal Hotel, with 52 senior representatives of the Jewish community in the United States, with a conference of presidents, all the presidents of the largest organizations, of the Jewish organizations in the US. And it was really an enormous event. And a few days earlier, I had a Zoom meeting with all the FIDF representatives in the US. So in 2 weeks, it's my third opportunity to speak with all the people in the US, and it's really important. I want to start with something which was a surprise for me just 2 months ago during a conference at Bar-Ilan University in Israel. I was in an army conference for the future that dealt with the future battlefield, which is one of my area of research. And in that conference, during one of the when we had a break, a doctoral student approached me, standing in front of me with tearful eyes. I didn't know how to respond. Usually I don't know what to do when people start crying in front of me. I just, it's confusing for me. And she said, you know, I have a 5-year-old son on the spectrum. I know you. Thanks to you, I know he will be a soldier. Every day we make a little more progress. I thought to myself, what should I do? How should I react? I just put my hand on her shoulder, trying to comfort her or to dismiss the awkward situation. And well, she started walking out from the hall, and I followed her. I gathered my courage and asked her if she wants a selfie. And she just turned around, smiling. Yeah, sure. So we took a selfie and she published it on Facebook. And I think most people will not know what I'm talking about. So, okay, met a woman, a mother, she started crying, but no. Because most of you don't have a child 3, 4 years old, sometimes a year and a half, sometimes he's 15 or her. And there is some kind of development disorder, all kinds, if we can call it disorder at that stage. She doesn't speak like her peers. She doesn't stop, she doesn't walk. She doesn't look at her mother's eye. Something is wrong. And parents start taking to all kinds of psychologists and physicians, and eventually they are getting a result, a diagnosis. She or he are on the spectrum. For parents, it's like the sky are falling on their head. They are helplessness. They don't know what to do. What then? And they start thinking all kinds of scenarios. Will he get married? Will he go to bar mitzvah? Even the most fundamental things in life. And yes, will he join the army? Will he be a soldier? You know, on Wednesday, we have a very happy day. 54 young soldiers, after 5 weeks, they have a special occasion of finishing of the end of their basic training. After 5 weeks in a base named Mechva Alon, which is on the north of Israel, not far from the Syrian border, in a closed base. 5 weeks, and they had a gunshot firing training and all kinds of activities, almost like any other soldier in Israel. And this is enormous for parents. Sometimes they're making me crazy. I'm autistic, but not crazy. But the parents, from all the blah, blah, blah on the WhatsApp group, you know what? They want to prepare food, and they are on t-shirts with all kinds of labels. They are so excited because they are normal. This is their hope for the children to have a good life, independent life after they will be gone. The parents, they want to have the assurance their children have a good future, that they can connect. And even today, a mother wrote me something which really, I told her, I want to take a photo with him on Wednesday. She said, you know, before he joined the army 5 weeks ago, he didn't have any friends. And now after 5 weeks, is happy. He has friends, they are speaking, they are on the same room. It's something which for parents to an autistic child is like Garden of Eden, discovering Garden of Eden. I want to read to you another testimonial from a parents, which is also was very touching. Who would have believed a few years ago that our children would feel that they belong, are equal, have value, can contribute like anyone else? There are so many layers of meaning here. First and foremost, for the sense of the children's ability and their integration into society, for the family that feels more secure and surrounded, and for the country that gains a target population emotionally healthy and functioning. Udi, my son Capt, and many others take part in this wonderful program. Thanks to you. Well done. And we have dozens of letters just like that. Numbers. Although not all citizens in Israel are enlisting to the army, only 52% because of the Arabs and the Haredis population, which most of them simply doesn't want to go to the army. 82% of the Jewish population who is not a Haredi enlist to the army. This is a very high percentage. Until and for, just a few months ago, the Supreme Court, after 4 years of delegation, approved that, let me start from the beginning. 4 years ago, a group of girls appealed to the Supreme Court against the army for not allowing them to be in the most prestigious infantry divisions, like the commando and the paratroopers, etc. They only got all kind of simple military, if they wanted to be in combat, it was only confined to a simple duties or to something which is not in direct with the opponent. And a few months ago, after 4 years, and the committee that the army established, it was approved, and the former chief of staff opened 3 special units for women. And I say this because to establish or for you to understand how much service in Israel is important. And for many years, for always, until a year and a half, the army never allowed people with autism to enlist to the army like everyone else. They were only allowed to enlist as volunteers via all kind of private association, which meaning they are outside of the army. The army does not responsible for their health or anything else. They put uniforms, they have a service, but they are not real soldiers. They don't have basic training. They even don't allow to sleep in the base. It's for people with autism to be excluded. It's one of the most shameful and hurting and humiliating thing you can do. It's very hurting. When you have a communication and social problems and you struggle every day to be accepted and to succeed in a society which is very hierarchical. Everyone knows everyone. And the fact that almost 65% of the population with autism are not working. They are totally dependent in their families and in the social security allowances each month, because even in the high functioning autistic like me, it's very hard for us to go through all kinds of the sorting system of companies and to work. And because we don't always understand the situation, and because the people who interview us don't always understand us, we are different. They prefer others and not us. So until a year and a half, the army, when every autistic is on the age of 16, they get a letter which says we found you unsuited for the army. If you want, you can go for a process that goes a year and a half with all kinds of psychiatrists and all kinds of letters until we will approve you to be a volunteer. If you are still willing to be a volunteer after a year and a half process of very bureaucratic process. And it takes a lot. It's not the front gate. It's even not a window. It's an underground tunnel just to be a soldier, kind of. So you will feel like you are anyone else, but you are not. On 2019, I discovered this situation, I didn't accept it. I wrote a 100 pages of research and started to fight with the Directorate of the Human Resources in the Army. And eventually, after a year of work and discussions, on the 28th of July, the first 53 autistic recruited to the army as full soldiers. Full soldiers. You know what? Full citizens. In the US, you don't understand it, but in Israel, if you want to feel like you are a real citizen, especially if you are a young adult with disability and you are tagged and you have a big X on you, it's a huge step. Since then, 320 soldiers in a year and a half with autism recruited through the Titkadmu program. The IDF to date is the largest organization in the world that that people with autism work in. No other organization, not Microsoft, SAP, the US Army, which doesn't allow autistic to be recruited at all, or the Canadian Army, or no other organization in the world have so many autistics. IDF is a small army, but big with autistics. The largest. During 2023, we have another 3 cohorts, and in 2024, another 4 cohorts. Eventually, we'll have almost 1,000 soldiers with autism in various jobs all over the army, programmers, cyber, trainers, network administrators, every job they want and find suitable to. No other organization, no other country, no other army in the world doing this. It takes a lot. Yeah. It's expensive. Yes. It's a lot of effort from the army side, from the commanders, from the families, but it's worth it. It really does. So
Udi,
I've run out of time.
that's okay. I was perfect on timing, Udi. I'm so happy. So if you want to just to wrap.
I didn't have any chance to tell you about myself, but I'm not the one who is important here.
Okay. So do you want to share something about yourself really quickly? Where do you?
Really quickly. Okay. Well, I have a very interesting life, sort of. I didn't recruited to the army as an autistic because my parents, I had a very difficult starter in life and as autistic. My biological parents didn't want me. My adopted parents didn't want me. I had a bad father who usually called me in all kinds of ugly words. He didn't accept me at all. My mother didn't know what to do with a child like me. I was diagnosed at the age of 3 because I had such, let's say, the worst social skills ever. I didn't make any contact with anyone. So it was very easy to diagnose me. It got better during the years, sort of. My mother wanted a perfect family. They waited 6 years for a child. And when eventually they got one, or they chose one, in the children's house, they say, okay, we want him. They got me. And I was the unwanted decision. They didn't want to give me what I needed as an autistic child. And eventually, after the age of 20, when my mother got sick, very sick, my father exploited the situation and threw me out of the house with very few things I could grab. And I lived on the streets for a few months, and then good people found a home for me. I struggled for many years. I have a bachelor degree in computer science from Bar-Ilan University. I didn't give up on myself. I learned not to give up, not to let others give up on me. How to be a nudnik, as we say in Yiddish, just to know, and sit on people and, okay, I'm here until you will give me what I want, what I need. I learned how to fight. And I think it contributed a lot to the fact that Titkadmu eventually is here, because you need, again, like we say in Yiddish, a meshugene. You need a passionate people for this kind of program to be established in an army. And I'm happy that we succeeded. Thank you.
Udi, I can't even tell you how many like text messages I'm getting while I'm listening to you. One of them actually is my own daughter, who is a officer in the IDF. She's in the call. I know she has a question for you. And just, oh my God, Ishal Koach, what a true inspiration you are.
Thank you.
So we do have some questions. One of the questions we got is, how do you know English so well?
I do. Okay. Well, my adopted family, my father was from South Africa, from Johannesburg. So even if we didn't speak a lot, he didn't want to speak with me. His family, his sister, his brother, you know. So you can't avoid it. So yeah, you know how to speak English. And as a kid, when I was 5, all I wanted is a computer. It was my only friend. And yes, it still does. And you know, in computers from the age of 5, you learn everything in English. But I need more practice. But I'm a bit rusty, but I'm sure I will get better this year.
I'm sure, I have no doubt.
Yeah, thank you.
One question we got, so when autistic soldiers are starting to draft to the army, what kind of screening do they have? Very different from the regular screening that...
Yeah, sure. I didn't wanted to drill down to the whole process, because they are American. I'm not sure if they understand all the process of the enlisting in Israel. But yes, they have, when they are age 16 and a half, we send them a letter requesting an updated papers and recommendations from psychiatrists, neurologists, from school, to check how they progress, how they are are they succeeding fitting into society, in school, how do they behave in school, etc. After a psychologist will go over the papers, they are being summoned to an interview, and if everything is okay, they get a military profile, a military psychological profile, which allow them to enlist as ordinary soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they have the first test at the age of 17, like any other. Sometimes they even, we have a group that all the class, as you know, Dana, they have what we call in Hebrew, Tzav Achud. It's a common, with all the class in school together go to the army for a day full of tests. They have some kind of psychometric test exams and physical interview and checklist, all kinds of interviews, the Hebrew, etc. And they can, so the autistic can even go with their class when all the other peers are not autistic, but they have special tests. Their psychometric is more narrow, more focused on their strengths. And in general, when you're working with people with autism and you want to make it work, you want to lift them, you need to start with their strengths and work with that. Work with their strengths, not with their weaknesses. So we choose the best test where they have the ability to better perform. After that, they have all kinds of exams. I don't want to.
That's elaborate enough, but
until they are being enlisted, they have all kinds of exams and interviews, almost like all the others, but with adaptation. Yes, they have also a special. Usually, it's women. It's some kind of special tutors who help them during their service.
So somebody just asked a question, so I'm so happy. So I'm going to pivot to Rebecca's question. So she wants to know, like, what kind of support does the Army provide, right? So you start over the elaborate about that.
The special integration tutor is really, we have 50 today, one tutor on every 6 to 10 soldiers. She sees them at least once a week. Once in 2 weeks, she even have a talk with his or she direct commander, and yeah, it's a necessary. Well, you know, it's a spectrum. There are soldiers who barely need someone to help them. There are soldiers who have a lot of difficulties. There are soldiers who don't want to be recognized as being autistic, and so they don't want any adaptation in the army, and they are being hurt. And you need to go and dissuade them and work with them. And sometimes they are really hurting themselves, and they are doing, and the commanders are coming and say, listen, he's not good. He's not working very well. He's failing. It's too exhausted to work with him. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but really most of them are okay, but the tutors are really
helpful.
Helpful, yeah.
Yes. Okay, I know we have one more question from Noah.
Hi.
Hi,
Sorry,
Noah.
my camera's off. I'm actually on the way back from base. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for coming to talk with us. It's really amazing to see that there's commanders like you in the IDF, people as impactful as you. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's really an honor. Yeah.
I'm actually also a commander of a soldier with autism, and he is a volunteer and drafted through an organization. And I know that your program, Titkadmu, works to make them equal so that they don't draft through an organization and they're not considered volunteers.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if don't you think that them drafting through an organization gives them the support that the IDF doesn't have the time or the resources to provide them?
No, because certainly not. Because discrimination is discrimination is discrimination. And you can say that on ADHD, and you can say it on LGBT, and you can say it on everyone. The IDF is the people's army. It's his responsibility to draft every soldier like every citizen, and not with discrimination, with any discrimination. If you are drafting them through association, so tomorrow Microsoft will say, no, we are not, we can't work with autistic, let them work through association. We are creating two societies. And sorry, I'm autistic. Why should I be in the army or in any other organization through an association? I can't walk, I can't speak, I can't see. Why? Even more, diversity is creativity. We know that organization with better diverse in the population are with better results, period. And you know what? If you allow discrimination for one group just because of the title autistic, tomorrow you will allow this with women. And until 100 years ago, no woman would allowed to work on the academia. You know that? I'm not speaking about army. Only in the 60s, there was the first woman who was a professor, on the 60s. The first one, full professor. By the way, Hannah Arendt, who was the first professor in Princeton. Equality, an equal country, equal society demands from the society to work with people like me and not to exclude them and tell them to be recruited through organization because the organization have people that will take care of me. No, the army can, and it does work well. And furthermore, the association keeps them lower. They do not develop because they are not with their peers. You don't give them the opportunity to grow. And we have 320 examples of success stories with almost zero dropouts. Zero. And if you recruit soldiers like me through outside organization, you are not creating a better society because the army will not develop the skill to work with people like me. He will never. We say, okay, go to the organization, the outside organization. And you are not creating a change agent. And IDF is the strongest change agent organization and the only change organization in Israel. Because when you have hundreds of people with autism all over the army, you have thousands of soldiers and commanders knowing them, working with them. And you are creating a better society, a more inclusive and justice society. And yes, democracy requires more work. It's better than anything else. I can go on. I can say also that all outside organizations don't have money. They can't recruit more than a couple of, 20, 30, 40 a year. So if you have 36,000 autistics in the educational system, and each year you have a growth of 4,000 to 6,000 newcomers, new students. So next year, which is on September 23, you will have more than 40,000. The growth of the autism diagnosis is double than every other child with disability. You cannot ignore them. You must integrate them as full citizen into society. Thank
We
you.
totally hear you. We hear you so well. You have been loud and clear and quite an unbelievable ambassador, not just for the IDF, but really for autistics across the world. You don't just speak for people in Israel. You represent the needs of people in the US and around the world. So we are very, very appreciative. And your point about diversity is creativity and starting from people's strengths. It is so important that we remember that we start from strengths to give people an opportunity to grow. And you talked about diversity leading to a better society. We know that, we see that here, but we have to be reminded, our leadership needs to be reminded. And what you said about the IDF as the most important change agent, Israel is, it's very true for Israeli society, and you are leading the way. And the goal we all want is to have a more inclusive society, a more just society. And we want to thank you so much. I know we didn't have enough time, Udi, for all the questions. I think we might send you an email with a few more follow-up.
With pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And we just want to make a few quick announcements later this month. So I think
everyone.
תודה רבה, אודי.
again, Udi, toda raba. We have an upcoming program that will be at Temple Beth Elohim in Wellesley on Wednesday, March 15th from 7 to 9 p.m. And we invite you to join us. This is a CJP RCIP event in the community, talking about addiction and talking about all kinds of other important things. There's a performance interweaving a Passover Seder with personal stories. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll learn. So we hope that you will join us for this very, very important program. Gateways has many resources. Please go to the website. It's jgateways.org. They have Shabbat resources and upcoming Purms next week. Please look at the Purim resources. You can download free Purim resources for your children and your family. And then they have the wonderful Inclusive Gateways Haggadah. So please go to their website again and see these great resources. And we invite everyone, come to the Yachad Purim party this coming Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Yachad Community Center, which is inside the 384 Harvard campus, also known as Kehelet Israel here in Brookline. You can register at the door, but also contact us for more information. And here's our phone number. So friends, once again, thank you for joining us for this Lunch and Learn opportunity. And Tamar and Donna, I think we're going to do some more of these. This is a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
And happy early Purim.
חג שמח.
Thank you.
Chag Sameach. Thank you again.
Bye.